here on the chess match that the BP is.
No, well, let's see. Right now, they are going to head straight into the second test. This is game number 2, the best of 5 between Team HAQ as well as KAGENDRA. For the IKL fans, this is a sight to see, right? It's beautiful for them. For Team HAQ, though, coming in as the new representatives for MKL, they need to step up right now.
Those are some big shoes that they need to fill in, right? Because MKL is recognized as one of the strongest leagues around, and if Team HAQ is going to come here as a representative of MKL, they cannot just so easily just surrender and admit defeat against the IKL champions.
That's true. And right now, I'm wondering if Team HAQ wants to take a page out of KAGENDRA's book here on their first pick, right? We talked about it. The Fire Ninja Mai is a very flexible pick. It can fit almost any composition, which opens the door up for a counter pick, even if you're on the blue side.
There is something very interesting that I have seen in these 2 BPs right now from KAGENDRA. Their first ban for both games is going to be the Ogren. Is there some information that I don't have about Bai's Ogren?
I think Bai's Ogren is pretty strong, right? We've seen it last year. So
Okay.
Bai has a couple of spectacular picks, one of them being Tigress. So I'm actually curious, does Team HAQ want to give the pay? But for now, I think this Forge Maiden here, Shisha, is definitely a great pick. This is a flexible pick, which is right up the alley of what we're talking about. Opens up the potential counter picks against KAGENDRA's next 2 picks, which at this point, I think is going to be difficult. This is a very early game structure.
Byron and Pei. Well, the Pei is going to be a hero that allows you to control the game early on, but at the same time, there's very few error space in here. Like, you cannot make no mistakes. So it's going to depend a lot about the first 2, 3, 4 minutes of the game and your pacing in there. We know that Face is having a great moment right now. Right now, if with this Pei choice, they're putting the whole spotlight on him to carry KAGENDRA in this victory.
Yes, we've already seen his highlights on the Pei yesterday, right? He is able to keep that farm going. That's the number one thing I have heard from the pros, right? As a Pei, you must constantly be farming. It doesn't matter where you're farming. It can be at the opponent's jungle as well. You just need to keep ramping up your gold. Now, with that being said, Team HAQ, they've completed the first half of their bans and picks. This is now where they have to try and make sure that this composition by KAGENDRA does not get into the full potential here.
KAGENDRA cannot get into a full potential, or else Team HAQ is going to be already on a 2-0. They understand the importance of that idea, so they're going to ban it out. I can imagine that they're going to ban one more support because they do not want to let the composition for KAGENDRA just to scale up too quickly.
Okay, so there's a couple of options for Team HAQ to kind of explore in the bench. Now, I know this is a completely... Okay, yep, they did ban out the Changfei. The other option I feel KAGENDRA can really pick up is actually the Sun Bin, right? With his second skill, the Time Flux, they're able to out-sustain the poke damage coming from Team HAQ and get the silence in as well. But KAGENDRA going for a slightly different feel here. They're gonna go with a flex pick. The E1 can go into the mid, it can go into the roam as well.
Onto your point of the Sun Bin, right? Like, the Sun Bin would give them a little bit of advantage in terms of balancing the early and the late game. The problem of that is that they do not want to make the late to enter the late game, right? There's something that they are not really willing to get into. Sun Bin option right over there would contradict their strategy of trying to dominate the game early and finish it early.
Agree, and there we go. This is where the Tunecaster Yuhuan will be going into the roam once they lock this in. Welcome, the new hero, Haya, a absolute menace if you know how to use it.
Yesterday we saw a lot of Haya. Actually, I do believe that yesterday we saw some Hayas that were completely unnecessary. We saw a lot of Hayas yesterday that it was more like a pick because it's new. So since it is new and it is available, I think I'm just gonna get it. We did not see excellent execution yesterday, but well, let's wait and see if Senku can show us something different today, right?
I mean, that's why we were talking about potential, right, earlier today. Like, potential is everywhere. But for you to realize it, it's not as easy as it sounds. Now, KAGENDRA, I like this lineup. They have very strong early game. The wave clear in the mid is going to be a problem for Team HAQ. Evernight Aspirations, 3 uses of your first skill, a couple of your passive basic attacks, you have the lane cleared, especially if you have help from your Roam Yuhuan. Yeah, that's instant level 2 for you right there.
I like right now to see that Chicha in jungle. All the Chicha that we saw yesterday was mostly in the class lane. So seeing it right now in jungle is gonna be actually really interesting for us to see. Let's see what Vi can do in terms of that one. On the other side, Kagendra is all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the gold. It's all about initiating the fights early on and trying to just seal this deal in 10 to 12 minutes.
Yes, and we've already seen Kagendra do that in game number 1, right? So now the question for them is, can you repeat it? And I like the fact that, you know, Team HAQ has gotten this Chicha in the jungle. One of the benefits of putting any hero into the jungle is the fact that you will have a level and EXP and hopefully gold advantage against the other members on the other side. So if you can get that first blood onto the Zan, if you're by, that's going to be great news for you, because not only do you shut down the farm lane, you also get the EXP advantage against Fei Shi.
At the same time, just having the Liu Bang on the Clash lane because of its ultimate, it can allow you a little bit more of sustain, right? It can allow you to actually deal damage for a longer period of time. So it's important just to understand how to coordinate at that initiation over there with the Liu Bang, how he can actually come into the fight in the right moment. Not too late, not too early.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the shield values coming in from inside of Team HAQ is something that we need to pay attention to. Right? They are pretty tanky at the later parts of this game. Of course, we're going to have that Poke and Pro coming in the mid lane to the side of Kagendra.
All right, let's jump straight up into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to assemble. Look at that. Immediate aggression and invasion over here for the Azure Golem.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the side of Team HAQ here. Mana is already low on health. Fei Shi gets that first buff across from the side of Team HAQ. Will be able to make it out safely. Gets the cap as well on that Spike Tail piece. And right now, the world is his oyster.
I told you, it's all about that tempo. And right now, Fei Shi understands that. He comes in, takes the Azure Golem. How can Team HAQ reply back to that? Like, they do not have the members to try to go and contest the Azure Golem from Team Kagendra. I mean, just gonna have to sit down and take the L? Just like that?
Damage limitation. I would guess so, because at this point, maybe steal a couple of camps away from Kagendra. That would have been the ideal answer, but it's Kagendra who's stealing stuff away from Team HAQ again.
Look at that. They come in, they take all of the resources, and they already start building a little bit of an advantage. I am loving the way that Kagendra is playing today. They completely forgot about yesterday's losses, and they're really into redemption.
Yeah, I like this, right? This is where learning is so important, right? Lifelong learning, and sometimes you have to take the L's. But once you get that lesson learned, this is what the result is. Kagendra now have a sizable lead in the early part of the game.
Kagendra over here already, Fei Shi already in level 5. It's going to be the Moonscape Mirage. Is going to be the first ultimate prop in there.
Oh, what a beautiful job here. First blood. This is where that level advantage really makes sense, right? Kagendra, Senko is already 4. Man just hit level 4. And what are the rewards? Team HAQ have to give away the Azure Golem to the side of Kagendra once again.
If we said that it was going to be a matter of just trying to finish this early, the way that Kagendra is just really capitalizing on the little mistakes from Team HAQ, it is a masterclass. Real masterclass right now coming in from the team in the red side.
And I really like the confidence on the side of Kagendra, right? They over time and time again, they keep putting Sauli in a pure 1v1. Everyone on the side of Team HAQ, though, they want to find an opening on the bottom side of the map. Zan is falling a little bit low. Can they get the finish? No, the lifesteal will be enough. And Kagendra survived that first aggression from Team HAQ.
Team HAQ right now with that first aggression is going to show a little bit of the desperation. They need to start trying to make something to turn the tides around. The problem in here is that they do not have that lethal damage at the moment. So what can they do right now more than just kind of like go around trying to start any fight that they can?
I don't think that's ideal, right? Because at this point, if you're going to commit to the fight, KAGENDRA has that level of advantage. If they get the stun on Lu here, it's going to be huge for the side of KAGENDRA. But for now, I think they want to play it safe, just take a couple more camps, because in about 20 seconds more, the first neutral objectives will start to show.
The first neutral objectives are going to come in. What's going to happen before that is going to be the Azure Golem is going to spawn for Team HAQ. And we know that KAGENDRA has a timer on that. Lapu Lapu already just set up in position, trying to send that information. And I think that Phase 3 is going to allow Bai to take that first Azure Golem.
We'll see what that price is going to be. It's going to be the life of Lola here for the side of KAGENDRA. Beautiful work. And with the timing as well, 4 minutes, no more defense for the T1 at the bottom side. It's going to be taken down in quick succession here. KAGENDRA open up the doors to the jungle on the side of Team HAQ as well.
Lola falls, and it's going to be KAGENDRA, the one that's going to try to go for the Tyrant one more time. It's going to be Leopold, the one that's going to take on that Pei. Phase 3 overstepping, and he's going to fall.
Yep. It looks good for the side of Team HAQ, but only for a moment, because KAGENDRA still got that neutral objective. They got the Tyrant in the first Tyrant of the game here. And with a 2-1 scoreline, it is still a 2,000 gold advantage going to the side of KAGENDRA, unless they can get Lu here with no options left. Bai finds that recovery.
Okay, now you see this is exactly what I'm talking about from the things that we could not start allowing KAGENDRA. You have an advantage. There's no reason why you need to actually start making these little mistakes. That cannot happen no more. Yesterday, it was the exact same scenario. They've got the advantage, but then those little rotation mistakes were the reason why Dominator yesterday beat them. Don't let that happen again. Team HAQ right now putting a little bit of pressure on the whole thing.
Yeah, but Bai is the first one to fall in this exchange. John is going to be the next one as well. Fei Shi getting a double kill for the side of KAGENDRA. So they want to turn the tides here. Nice amount of poke from the side of Lu. He can afford to do so. He does have his ultimate. So he will be able to get the heals in if necessary. At the same time, rotations are coming in. They're going to set it down. But the Mirage going to be set down from the side of Senko, locking Man in the middle here, and it's numbers advantage for the side of KAGENDRA. They get the kill on the Man, they get the T1 in the mid, and Team HAQ, they found some success, but it's a short one.
I just love it. In the moment that looks like Team HAQ might have a little bit of hope, there's nothing they can do. KAGENDRA immediately, just with an iron fist, comes and hits them straight in the face.
Yep. And they send them a reminder once again. Fei Shi wants to let Bai know that the Azure Golem you took was one that we gave to you. Right now, Fei Shi has his side of the buff.
6 minutes and 30 seconds, you can see already a 5,000 gold advantage for KAGENDRA. It is not something that we see a lot happen in rallies. This is not a frequent view that we have to see over here in international tournaments. KAGENDRA, right now, they have everything under control. Let's wait and see what they want to do. Going for the Overlord, going for the Tyrant might be the next task, but look at that. It's going to be Bai the next target.
Okay, they did burn the flash on the side of Lu here. They are unable to find the kill, but it does not matter because KAGENDRA's goal here is to get the split push going in. You can take a look at what Fei Shi is doing. Cutting the waves here is going to open up the map for the side of KAGENDRA. And all they have to do on the other side of the map for the 4 remaining KAGENDRA members is to slow the movement down. But Team HAQ, they will not be looking for that kind of mistake. They're looking for a catch here, but it is going to be Team HAQ that is open up for the taking here. KAGENDRA, they wrap them around the T3 and T2 on the top side here. Lu getting the damage in. He does have his ultimate to try and get the heals if things go awry. Senko gets that first catch here onto Man, I believe, into the side of the Mirage here. Man is going to be taken down. The T2 taken in quick succession as well. KAGENDRA find an opening, a rampage for the players as they want to lay down Zan with the finishing blow. And with that T3 taken off the ball for the side of Team HAQ, this fight could very well be over. Fei Shi will have to pay with his life, maybe at the cost of the game. Game number 2 goes to the IKL champions once again.
The IKL champions come in, take game number 2. It was such a beautiful and long fight. They started it right over there on the tier 2 turret and then immediately just start taking kills, start taking bodies, start taking resources, and they took the crystal to finalize this advantage.
I mean, the way that Fei Shi knows about the advantage that he has and pushes his hero to the absolute limits, it's insane.
I agree with you. Completely insane the way that they were able just to use their mechanics and they just be able to just to close in the game. It was such a beautiful performance. There were some moments where I was actually wondering if KAGENDRA was able to just finish this, because it looked like, oh, the old mistakes started coming again, and they just closed the door immediately, went in, and then they just completely destroyed Team HAQ.
Yes, it's a very scary notion, right? Because for a moment, you could see that Team HAQ was like, hey, you know what? Fei Shi's alone. 5 of us versus one of him, we definitely can get the job done. But because Pei is such a mobile hero, he's a tiger, right? He's gonna be very quick on his feet. And that's where the opening came up for the side of KAGENDRA. Yeah, exactly. So once they cornered them at the bottom, at the top side of the map, T2 taken down. Now you have no more defense.
No, exactly. I completely agree with you in terms of that, right? Like, you cannot just go and try to hunt a tiger. Trying to hunt a tiger in that way is not the smart choice in this moment. Well, Team HAQ right now is going to collect 2 defeats at the moment. I'm a little bit concerned about how their mindset is gonna be right now. It's very difficult to come in for your debut and then just losing 2 games straight in this fashion. It's not only losing, but the way that they lost these 2 games.
Yeah, it really puts a mental barrier onto you, right? Because it feels like you have all the answers, but every move you make is shut down. Let's take a look at the kill score. Fei Shi, once again, beautiful game by him, 5-1-2. This time going for damage, another hybrid build, right? Frostguard Embrace with the Axe of Torment for the armor pierce, as well as the frost damage and slow.
Well, you can already start seeing a trend, right? Like, you can already start seeing the Fei Shi when he's, in terms of his itemization, he is trying to make hybrids all the time in order just to have that level of error, that error room in case that something goes wrong.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Senko recognized the fact that, hey, we have a lead, right? I already have the level advantage against Man in the mid, and he actually went for the Twilight Stream as the first core item on this higher pick. And that means you get additional magic pierce and quite a lot of damage, close to 30,000 worth from Senko alone.
Only 8 minutes of the game. We did not even make it to the 10-minute mark in this one. This was really a sprint. It was very, very quick.
Yeah, it definitely was. And now, we were talking about, hey, Lola did not find options for the team fight. He was completely out of this game. Everyone on the side of Team HAQ was a target for KAGENDRA.
It's gonna be such a tough day for Lola. Like, can you imagine just coming in, just trying to make your debut as a farm laner, and then in this match, there's no damage for you to deal. There's no gold, there's no items. Can you imagine just coming to your debut in your first 2 games and then not being able to be part of the game at all? That's gotta be tough.
I mean, it came down to that first initiation from KAGENDRA, right? That level 1 invade. Not a lot of teams have done that. Even last year for 2025 of HOK, very few teams tried it. Very few teams even found success in it. But KAGENDRA has been one of the first teams this year to make it work.
I'm really happy to see KAGENDRA just turning things around. This is really good. I know that all of the fans, all of the KAGENDRA fans over there in Jakarta are feeling elated with the performance of their team today. Just showing us a new face compared to, if yesterday was the first day of the tournament, let's just leave that yesterday in the past, the same as 2025. This is the KAGENDRA we want to see the whole 2026.
Yep, actually, this is what I expected out of Fei Shi, right? The aggression coming in. This guy is an academy player, meaning he still has a lot of years in his bag. He still has a lot of fight in him. And to start the year off at this kind of standard, I feel like KAGENDRA is set for success.
Well, when you're an academy player, it might be a new face for a lot of the people over there at home, right? Like, a lot of us might be completely new to him, but it does not mean that he's inexperienced. It is just the fact that he's new to our ecosystem. It does not mean that he's new to the game. So Fei Shi right now, just coming into KAGENDRA, just probably might be the solution that the old Kagendra needed to the old problems.
Okay, before this scene changes, right, the kill participation rate is 100% for the side of Man on that mine, right? And that tells a very big story of how Kagendra won this game. When they were making the choices, Kagendra was able to farm. But in every aspect of the game number 2, Team HAQ had no space to find farm. They were constantly trying to fight against the members of Kagendra. And of course, Haya being a big pick for the side of Kagendra. Props to this man, MVP Senko bringing in the win here, 2-0-1.
Senko yesterday was the first Haya of the KIS4. Today brings the Haya back and is going to take the victory. Not only the victory, but he's going to take the MVP for the Evernight aspiration. Haya.
I like it a lot, right? And this is where you truly get to see this is not a individual game. This is where the team composition matters. How you complement each other's weaknesses is going to be how you get the wins as well. Lou, I want to give a silent shout out to him in this entire match. Yes, he got taken out at this particular point, but if you take a look at the rest of the game, he was constantly in the faces because he could afford to do so. His ultimate used to perfection.
At the end of the day, Lou's performance in here as a roamer, his job is just to provide vision, to provide sustain, and to use his ult key just to be able to nullify the front versus attacks.
Yeah, and take a look at this guy. We talked about him since yesterday. Saule has really impressed me so far. This game, he was just all over the place, and it's a good thing, right? Normally when we say all over the place, it might not be the best situation, but he was playing to the nines today.
Wow. 8 minutes, come in, Kagendra takes the victory. They put one more in their bag. We're gonna come in and move into game number 3. And when we go here into our game number 3, it's gonna be very difficult.